On the 15th day of May 2022 in the city of Manila, at approximately 7 a.m., an unusually bright, pink, discolored, lifeless body was found in a car parked in a garage. This body belonged to 23-year-old Arturito Castillo, and this is the peculiar story of how he died. "15 hours prior to the crime, at exactly 4 p.m., May 14, 2022, before Arturito's body was found, he met with his now ex-girlfriend Raquel for closure after their long on and off relationship. Six hours later, at 10 p.m., Arturito went to his favorite bar to drown his sorrows from his closure with Raquel and invited his friend Denver.
Hey man, what's up?
Hey Denver. You know, I broke up with Raquel. And to be honest, it's kind of depressing.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, man.
You know what? I still truly love her. She's always in my mind. I can't keep her out of my mind. I badly want to be with her again.
You know what? I know just the thing. Hey bartender, 2 shots of tequila, please. How about tonight, we forget about everything and get absolutely hammered. Cheers.
Cheers. You know, I just want to share something.
Yeah.
It's about my breakup with her.
Yeah, what's up?
You know, it still plays back in my memory, like it's just yesterday.
It's alright, man. Bartender, keep it coming. Alright, man. I'll just head to the bathroom real quick. I'll be right back. Right? You gonna stay here?
Yeah.
You good?
Fine.
Alright. See you later, man.
After downing 10 consecutive shots of tequila, Arturito gradually lost consciousness and passed out on his seat.
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system. At the tone, please record your message.
Hey Arturito, I'm just checking in on you, if you got home safely. You sent some really weird texts last night and it really freaked me out. I know you've been pretty broken up about Raquel, but I hope you were joking about those texts. Anyways, I'm coming over in a bit to check on you. I'll pass in through your garage just in case you're still passed out. Alright, I'll see you then, man.
natin alam. Alam niyo ba kung anong nangyari dyan?
Step aside, step aside. Thank you. Hey, just got in. Give me a rundown of the scene.
Well, it looks like a standard suicide. The victim was a 23-year-old male, so there was an exhaust. He's going inside the car, found dead last night.
Yeah, and it looked like it happened last night at the latest. So we also found his phone, and it seems that he was sending goodbye texts to all of his friends. The last message he sent was around 2 a.m., which gives us around 3 to 4 a.m. the time of death.
Yeah, so it looks like a cut and dry suicide, right?
From the looks of it, he was arguing with someone named Raquel. He seemed pretty upset with her. These texts also go back a couple weeks at the latest.
You think this person is related to the case somehow?
I'm not sure. We won't really know much until the autopsy reports come in. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna look more into the scene, and I'll meet you two back at the lab.
Okay.
Good. Carry on.
Thanks. Approximately 7 in the morning, the police department received a call from the victim's friend, Denver Bautista, about a possible suicide. The victim was found dead inside his car, a gray SUV. He was seated in the driver's seat. Inside the car, an alcohol-like odor was circulating within, suggesting that the victim was most likely intoxicated prior to his death. The victim, Arturito Castillo, is a 23-year-old Filipino male with average build. Hair and eye color are both dark brown. The victim's clothes appeared to be undamaged. On autopsy, the face and eyes were congested. Subconjunctival hemorrhages were present in both eyes. Multiple, bright cherry red colored petechiae were present diffusely over the abdomen, the back, the posterior surface of the thighs. Nasal and oral mucosa were both bright cherry red. Internally, all solid organs were congested and were cherry red. Frothy, edematous fluid was present in the respiratory tract as far as the terminal bronchioles. The pleural cavities had about 200 milliliters of transudation. The lungs were also edematous. Histopathology of the brain showed red neurons suggestive of hypoxia. There was edema and hemorrhage on pulmonary microscopy. The liver showed dilated sinusoids with focal macrovesicular steatosis. The spleen showed congestion of the white pulp. Microscopy of the kidneys was within normal limits. Cause of death was asphyxia as a result of carbon monoxide poisoning. The officer on the scene ruled possible suicide.
So, this case seems clear-cut, don't you think?
Good afternoon po. So here are the toxicology results po that you requested. There seems to be some peculiarities in the case, so we have to take a look. Thank you po.
Take a look at this. The guy was so wasted, and those alcohol levels, 0.23% found in the blood. He couldn't have driven home safely given that he's this drunk.
Also, take a look. The drug test was positive for lorazepam, which is a benzodiazepine. Those levels look really high. It's around 330 nanograms per milliliter. Why would he ingest this much in one sitting? Sir Alejandro, did you notice any prescription medication at the victim's house?
Actually, no. His medical records show that he didn't need lorazepam. So it could have been drugged. Might have been homicide. Now, are we positively sure that he was alone that night?
Well, we found some hair samples in the victim's car, so we can start analyzing those right now. What will we do now, Inspector?
Okay, so I'll continue to look into his family and friends, especially the ones that he's been texting during the night he died. I did notice one strange conversation, though. Apparently, it was with this woman called Raquel. She's been arguing with him for a couple weeks now. So she may know more. I'll check in with you guys when you have the results. Right?
Upon further inspection of the body, it was noted that there was dark, red bruising on the upper extremities on the wrists, which weren't as noticeable due to the cherry red discoloration of the body. This suggests that heavy force was applied around those areas, which means another person could have been involved. Due to the victim being drugged by lorazepam as seen in his toxicology report, it's possible that the victim was carried or lifted by someone else and the scene was set up to look like suicide. Due to the heated nature of the messages between the suspect and the victim, her DNA sample was found on the scene and was the victim's last actual contact. The number one suspect is therefore Raquel Hodgkins, the victim's ex-girlfriend.
I don't understand. I was just talking to him. He can't be dead. Please believe me when I say I cannot do that to anyone. Especially Arturito. The last time I was with him was when I ended things between us. And I wasn't even with him at the bar.
Yeah, well, see, I would believe that. But you were the last person that he texted. You were also the last person that he met. Now, okay, so this is how it is. Raquel was the last person to text Arturito. We have enough evidence at hand that suggests that she was the one that staged the suicide of her ex-boyfriend. If you are indeed an accomplice, and if you have anything to say, now would be the time to speak up.
I did it. Don't blame Raquel. It was me. I'm the one who staged suicide.
But I don't understand. How is it possible?
That night, Raquel received some texts from Arturito. Even though they were not together anymore, Arturito was still texting her. And I don't know. I mean, I trust Raquel. And I know she would never hurt me, but seeing those texts, it really pissed me off. So I tipped the bartender and had Arturito's drink spiked. And then when he was knocked out, I brought him in his car. Then I drove him to his house. And that's where I did everything. That's where I set it all up. I even texted his friends, his family that he wanted to die. That's when I did it. I killed him.